Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode number 81 of my series in which I will try to collect 1 billion iron ingots. In today's episode, I'm actually going to be undertaking 3 smaller projects, 2 of which I've done before, so, well, let's get started. The first thing I want to do is I want to build a permanent organization system for my main Applied Energistics system. So right now I have all this gigantic Applied Energistics system set up, and there are times in which I want to organize things a little bit better than what it is able to do on its own. In the past, I have set up some semi-permanent or even completely disposable systems so that I could organize the items within my Applied Energistics system better. So that's what we're going to do today. So we're just going to set up a little independent Applied Energistics system right here, and we are going to use that to help us organize this system over here a little bit better. So now the first thing we need is power, and I've actually already set this up. What this power actually comes from up here. I use redstone energy flux duct, and I use covers, and I just kind of integrate it into the road above, and then it drops down right here. What we are going to do first is we are going to put a battery right here, or an energy cell, and then we are going to put a ME controller right here, and that should light up. It should be powered. And the next thing we're going to do is place down 2 ME drives, and technically I only need 1, but I think it looks better if I do 2. Also, I am going to place down some quartz fiber, and that is to keep these separated. I'm not sure if I actually even have to do that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down 2 terminals. I think it just looks better if I have 2. You only really need 1. And then lastly, did I do this right? I think lastly, I am going to, no, I didn't. I think what I actually had this system built and decided I wanted to make this a permanent fixture. So we're just going to slap these right here, and that should work perfectly fine. And then we need to put 2 import buses here and here, and they need acceleration cards. At least if I want them to work, fast. So the next thing, we're just going to hook this up. Those import buses are hooked up to the main system, and the interfaces themselves are hooked up to this system. So the next thing I want to do is I want to place down a couple covers here, and 1 right there, and then 1 back here, just to make things look a little bit nicer. And I really should have done that before I placed the terminal there. That's okay. So let's grab some stone real fast, just to cover this hole. I think I only need 2. And then I have this chest set up because it has all the drives that were in the system. So well, actually, there's one more thing I want to do. I want to set this guy up, but to do that, we need to put down a couple quartz fibers here and here. Actually, I don't think I need the one back behind, but I might need this one right here. I'm not entirely sure that I do. And then this ME IO port will get 3 acceleration cards. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take all these guys, and we are going to put them in this system right here. Now, these actually came from these 2 ME drives right here, so they're full of a bunch of stuff. So let's throw them in here and see what we have. Now, to do that, let's sort by the number of items, and then let's, yeah. So basically, what we see here is we have a lot of resonating ore and some other stuff. Now, I have set up some more black hole units to house a few of the items that I was not housing before. And one of those would be resonating ore, but I think it's down here somewhere. But anyways, the point is, I do not want the resonating ore in drives anymore. I want them in black hole units. And that's because we just have a lot. we have a lot of them, so it's a lot more efficient to house them in black hole units. So that's where this system comes in. Anytime I make changes or add black hole units with items, I just simply pop my drives in here, and let's grab some stuff that we have a bunch of. I don't think I have a black hole unit for phosphor, but let's grab some of the other stuff that I know I do. And I'm not sure what all I do. I know I have cyanite. Is this pulling things out right now? Okay, okay. So I actually had these configured before, and I guess I kept their configs. But anyways, for the sake of redoing everything, how we are going to use these is we tell this ME interface to keep 64 of these guys in stock. So what happens is the import buses pull them out into the main system, and this system restocks the 64 resonating ore as it needs. So that's cool. So basically all we have to do is throw these guys in here, and then it will import all of these items, and then once it is done with that, we will come back to this. Actually, there's one more thing I want to grab first, and I'm not sure which item I should grab. I'm not sure any of it is in black hole units, but let's grab the charged Certus. I actually don't think it is, so I probably shouldn't even throw this, but because it won't make a difference, because essentially it'll just be going from these drives to those drives over there, and that's what this thing is for. But I'm not 100% sure. I might actually have a black hole unit for charged Certus quartz, so if I do, this will be a good thing. So let's just set up this ME interface as well, and then I will cycle back to this at the end of the episode. It will most likely not be done, but that's okay, as in it'll still have a bunch of crap in it, like resonating ore and all the stuff I'm supposed to be exporting to the main system, but that's okay. Now the next thing we are going to do is, a few episodes back I destroyed my wither spawning area to build this tower right here, and that tower has been working out really well, but I really would like to have another wither spawning area, and that's because I'm running low on nether stars again. I only have 43, so I would definitely like to have more than that. So let's build ourselves another wither spawning cage, and to do that there are a few different blocks we can go with. I think in the past I used ionite from environmental tech. However, this time we are going to be using aethium because it's black, and I think it looks a little bit better than ionite, and it'll be across from my diamond tower right here. So I think going with the aethium is a good choice. Now, first off, I need to find what footprint I want to have this building have. So I think what I'm going to do is, actually, I'm just going to have it be almost as big as footprint-wise as these buildings over here. So let's do something like this. And you know what? Because I would like to be able to enter the building through an actual door, let's go ahead and carve that out. And then let's figure out how deep we want this thing to be. I don't really need it to be too deep. It already is going to be massive compared to the old one. Not that I really need it to be, but you know, whatever. I have a bunch of stuff. Let's supersize it. So the next thing I'm going to do is, and I can do this off camera real fast, I'm going to dig out the floor and replace it with aethium blocks, and I'm going to build this up a little bit, and I can do that off camera. I'm going to be right back after I have that done. Here's our building. I have built it to be 5 tall, and I think I'm going to put the roof on right over on this level, and I had it twice. There we go. So let's go ahead and roof this thing. Then we're going to have to throw down some temporary torches, but that's no big deal. And obviously our doorway is going to be over here. Now we're going to have to protect this doorway, and there are a couple ways we can do this. I think the best way would be just a simple wall here. What we can do is reorganize things up and down from the original block. I think that's how I want this. And then finish that like so. And what we can do is we can have a couple torches right in here. And then let's grab some doors as well. By some doors, I mean 2 doors. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 different wither spawners instead of just one like I had before. I can definitely make more withers than I have in the past. But I guess the next thing we'll need to do is we need to make like a chamber underneath. And let's find... Okay, so we'll have 4 over there and then 4 over here. 3, 4. And then we can dig this. Okay, let's make sure I have this on 3 by 3. Yes. Whoa, lag. Do I have that 3? Yeah, I have that 3. Just trying to make everything equivalent here. There we go. Did it. I did good. So now what we're going to do is we are going to dig out to the road because we're going to need power and we are going to need items from our Applied Energistics system. So let's find something resembling the middle, and there is actually no middle, but that's okay. I can just dig this way. And voila, we are out. Like I said, we'll need power and we'll need items. But first, let's grab some, and I think I need 2 of these guys. So 2 wither spawners. And I would like to put them... let's say right here. And let's do the show working area real fast on both these guys to make sure that I'm spawning them in an okay spot. Down, boy. Okay, so that looks good to me. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So let us go ahead and leave those right there. So what we need is we need export buses. And we need to get rid of a bunch of crap. Let's get 6 of these because we need 2 capacity cards. Nope, we also need crafting cards. Forgot. I actually don't even need these, so let's just get rid of them. So first we need wither skulls. And that's why we need the crafting card, and then we need soul sand. Actually, I have soul sand automated as well. So I need crafting cards for both of these. Let's see, can I make 1,000? I can. Kind of figured I could. So let's throw these in the side. Oh, I only need 1 capacity card. So soul sand and wither skeleton skulls. That should be good. The next thing we need is we need mob grinders, and we need to set these up before I actually hook these up to be powered. And we will need these mob grinders to be, I think, right here. I think this will work. And those obviously will also need power, but can deal with that in a minute. And the next thing we're going to need a couple absorption hoppers. And we want to put those, actually let's dig out just a shade more. So 2. Cool. And we will want to put these right here, I believe. Actually, as close to the weather builder as possible would be better. So let's go ahead. Actually, I think right here would be the best place, because I can hook up buses to them if I put them right there. And the plumbing will be really easy if I do it that way. So let's get some import buses. And 2 is perfect. I'm not sure if I can hook these up like so, but we're going to try. Okay, so which way are you pointing? East. I need the east side to be item. And hopefully that'll work. So next we need to power the system and test it, I think. So let's grab some flex duct. And let's grab some covered cable. And we'll need more than that. I think the best way to do this will be something like this. So then we can go across with it like that, and then pretty much the same thing here. And let's grab some sand and cover this up real fast. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so now let's run our power first, because we want to power this and power that. That will work. And then we need our AMI conduit. And that should work out pretty well. Except I think, yeah, that'll work out perfect. It's not the most glorious cable routing job, but it should work. So, if all has gone well, I can't get out of here. These things should have power, which they do not. Did I mess something else up? Yep. Yes, I did. Okay. Like I was saying, these things should have power, maybe. We should start seeing some withers. Real directly. There we go. Oh, and I need to turn off the show me where they're spawning. So let's also do that before we finish this build. Hide working area. And hide working area. And in addition, I'm going to go ahead and throw some torches on here. And hopefully there's a neat pattern to be had here. Oh, that worked out beautiful. I didn't even like totally plan that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do real fast is I can go ahead and cover this up off camera, but I'm gonna turn off these wither spawners. In between episodes, I will turn them back on. I will also cover this up. But for right now, we don't need wither spawning everywhere. I will probably also add an elevator so that I can get down there to turn them on and off. But for right now, let's go ahead and start our last project of this episode. And that is, we are going to build onto this building. Because right down here, I have my redstone processing, but I would also like to process my gold in the same way. However, I'm just kind of cramped for room down here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this stuff away. I'm going to delete it, and we're going to go upstairs and work on it up there. Essentially, it's going to be a build very similar to what I've done in the past, but I'm going to rip this all out, and then I'm going to be right back. Okay, we are up here, and we have all of our stuff ripped out that we'll need, and we'll actually need some more stuff. But anyways, to get started, we actually are going to have to configure these lines a little bit differently than these guys, than all the other stuff in this building. And that's because we have 2 inputs and 1 output versus 1 input and 1 output. So we're going to have to deal with that. And I think the way we're going to deal with that is instead of having around the walls and then lines through the middle, we're just going to have lines. And what we can do is we can start out back here by ripping out a bunch of this floor, because we're going to need this area. Whoops, didn't mean to do that one. So we're going to lay down. Actually, let's take stock of our inventory real fast. We have our redstone ore in a black hole unit. I think this is... Okay, that is our output. So let's actually separate this. And then this will be our sand. So these can be... I'm not sure where I'm going to put those for right now, but... I think let's run our signalum plated impulse item duct on the bottom here, so we can run it like so, because it has a connection directly to the cryostabilized flex duct. And we'll just run this across the back. And we're gonna need some more item ducts, so let's grab that. So, oh my goodness. Okay, that's better. So let's grab a couple stacks of each to get rid of some crap in our inventory. And then, yeah. So actually, let's clear out 2 lines real fast. And then let's get putting down some of our induction smelters. Now these back here will actually need to be facing this way. I don't need to be holding shift. I don't know why I am. Shoot. See, this is the tricky part. Or this is a tricky part. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these. They all need to have their backs facing this way. And once I get them all placed, I will be back. Now we have all of those induction smelters placed. We need to figure out where we are going to run our power, and I think we're just going to do that over here. And we can use covers to cover that up after or when we need to, but for right now, let's lay down another line. And this will work best if I build these lines in pairs, and that's because when I set these up, I can place them back to back. And when I say back to back, I mean like so, as in this one's back is facing this way and this one's back is facing the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place and configure these induction smelters to be identical to these guys over here. I'm actually going to take out this augment. They are going to have all auxiliary sieves, and that is for maximum production of the rich slag, which I desire. And so I'm going to configure these real fast, and then I will be right back. Now all of the induction smelters are set, and they are all configured to be like so. As you see, we see only green back here. So let's go ahead and set up some impulse item ducts back here. And I believe I'm going to want the sand to be to the green. So we can go ahead and grab a couple of these guys. Let's grab the sand. And do I want to do the reds? I think I want to do the sand over here. And then the redstone over on the other side. Okay, so the output is to the top. I'm trying to figure out how I want to route all this. So I think I'm going to put the redstone ore there. And this will be the output. And I think I'm going to put this right here. So now let's start routing our Applied Energistics dense cable here. I'm definitely going to need some more covered cable. So let's go ahead and grab that. 53 should be enough. So let's run this across. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this down in between them. So this will be an export bus. Actually, I'm going to have 2 export buses right here. And that means I need... Let's just grab another black hole unit. Let's grab an empty one. And then I need to grab some gold ore. Now, currently I have gold being processed right here, but let's go ahead and stop that. So let's try to find some gold real fast. Here we go. We are going to have the gold going right here. And we are going to have the redstone going right here. And what we need to do is we need some acceleration cards. Let's just grab a couple stacks. We can get rid of these now. And let's throw these in here. So we have our gold ore and our redstone ore. And those will be going in the bottom. So I think, hang on, let me do a little quick plotting here. I think the best way to do this would be to run it out the bottom here. Through over here. So what we're going to do is let's do some more demolition. And then we can... Okay, real quick, we are going to need to lay down impulse item duct right here, but then I want to wrench this because I want these to remain separate. This can go bye-bye because we won't need this block at all, at least not for right now. I think it'll be a little bit cleaner if I don't have that block. And then we will run impulse item duct, and I have to do every other one. Yes, every other one until right here. And then I need 2 of these guys. And these need to be always on with the round robin applied. Now I need some signalum plated impulse item ducts, and I need to do every other one because I like to keep the energy circuits separate. And like there will be a line right here of signalum plated impulse item ducts, and then so on and so forth. So now we should start seeing our gold ore and our redstone ore showing up, which is happening. And then the next thing we need to do is we need sand, and that will need to go in the green. But first, we need to hook this up to our Applied Energistics system, and we can do that real fast. I think the best way to do this is something like this. Nice. By nice, I mean not nice at all. I didn't mean to put that there. Am I really out? I think I'm short. No, I have just enough. Sweet. And then I will need an export bus. And this will need to be sand. Export sand. Cool. Okay, so now that that's set up, while we're at it, we can go ahead and throw this import bus over here. Set it up with its cards. Okay, now we need to set up other stuff. So let's go ahead and set up the green back here since it is mostly ready to go. So let's grab our impulse item duct, and actually let's go ahead and set this up at the same time. And that is so we can wrench things before we actually have items coming in. By wrench things, I mean there are two connections that will be made over here that I will need to get rid of. I can't spell item duct. Okay. And that will be these two right here, because I need to keep the orange and the green separate. You know what? What I'm going to do, that won't work either. I thought I could just make this loop bigger, but I'd still have to cross it. And this is the sand we'll be needing, so I can just do something like so. Actually, you know what? I don't want to do that. I want to run it underneath. And that's because if I do it like this, I can just have a servo right there. So let's grab a servo. A good one, not a bad one. And, oh my goodness, freeze. Wow. Set it to always on, round robin. Okay, so we should start seeing sand get in here, and these things should start lighting up as they are. Now the last thing we need to deal with is the outputs here. That should be pretty easy. We need to grab some impulse item duct, and I still need more. I keep not grabbing enough, but whatever. I got plenty of it. And then this will need to be an input. And, okay, I think all of these are started, which means I think I can do this safely real fast. No, I need to do that. And now I need to hook this up. So what we're going to do is run it, I think like so will be the best way to do this. And then this should start seeing items come in, because these should be able to auto output. Yes. So we should, come on items, do what I tell you. Should start seeing stuff come into here. There we go. Now obviously I can expand this across the room, and I definitely will between episodes, but for right now this is good to go. It's running. I can throw a bunch of covers on also between episodes. That's just busy work. But we have a functioning system, so that is cool. Last thing I need to do is I need to make sure I actually have enough channels for all this. I'm pretty sure I do. So it is the blue right here. So let's check out. We have plenty of channels. Okay, so cool. And we should be good for this episode. So wrapping up, I managed to make an Applied Energistics system, which will help me sort out my main Applied Energistics system. And then I built a wither spawner, in which I need to clean up between episodes, but that won't be a problem. And I also need to build an access point, but that'll be easy. I'll just throw in an elevator somewhere. And then lastly, I managed to build a new gold and redstone ore smelting. And actually, let's cycle back. The reason why I changed my gold ore processing is because before I was processing it in a pulverizer, which gives me a 5% chance of cinnabar. However, if I process it in an induction smelter with sand, I have a 20% base chance to get rich slag. Now, obviously, I'm using 4 of these augments right here, which should boost my odds of getting that rich slag considerably. So that will help me get more rich slag and cinnabar. Basically, to me, they're worth the same amount because they help my processing the same. So rich slag and cinnabar are completely interchangeable in my mind as far as processing because of how I use them over there in my iron processing. As of right now, I have 337 million iron ingots, which is awesome. I am super excited about that. As of right now, I do have a backlog of iron ore, but my system that I'm setting up to process gold ore and redstone ore should help that because currently I am kind of running low on rich slag and cinnabar. So I think that's a good wrapping up point. I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.